All right, trying this again because the sound cut out last time. But the next 12 weeks, we're going to be doing the Greek Mythology cycle. That's the theme of this one. Some upcoming events within this cycle to about here. If you're going to be part of any of these, please let me know. I can send you a taper or teach you how to get off of where we're at in the track so that you can compete at your highest level for those. But for the next 12 weeks, so from June 17th to September 8th, we're going to be loving fitness and working out again. So whether you still love it or you love it more, you're just going to really enjoy this cycle. I feel like I really enjoy this time of year in terms of volume building, less stress workouts, and it really is not just the end of the High Rock season, but building into the Deca season and preparing. This is where we can accumulate. It's like an accumulation phase of all the fitness we built up the last few months. We get to accumulate it, and that's our new base so we can go even higher. And so that's what this kind of cycle is going to be doing. We'll work on a lot of different broad modalities, our global fitness, so fitness everywhere, and then all of your energy systems, so all 3 or 4 energy systems. How we're going to do that? We're going to do functional movement intervals. We're going to build our volume. We're going to work on higher skill stuff and work on doing things properly at a lower intensity so that when we do ramp up the intensity, we can still work properly and move efficiently. We'll do a little bit of hypertrophy, so a little bit of growth in the muscles so that we can have more muscle to pull with strength. And then core, lots of core. What are we going to use? So we'll use dumbbells and kettlebells because they require a lot of stabilization. We'll use a lot of single leg strength to create balance between our body so that we're doing the proper things between our hamstrings, glutes, our posterior chain, and then our hip flexors and our quads and everything in front. We want to make sure that we're balanced back and forth. And single leg strength can really help identify any imbalances and make it so that we're going to correct those. So you'll see a lot of that. You'll see a lot of pulling movements. That includes deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, pull-ups, just a lot of things that involve pulling, like ring rows and working out that upper back and keeping tension there. Calisthenics, a lot of body weight for proprioception, know where you're moving at in space. So we're doing a lot of body weight movements, a lot of explosive body weight movements, just so you can understand your own body. And then the Olympic lifts. There's nothing's going to beat the Olympic lifts in terms of producing power and growth of power. And you can also work on the technique and skill of them during this cycle because we'll have time to do that with our skills at low intensity. All right. So how we're going to do this, or how the weeks are going to be set up. What I'm really going to do is Tuesday and Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you'll see full days of programming, mostly. And then Monday and Thursday will be those shortened days or the active recovery days. So if you only do the monostructural from those days, or if you don't do anything from those days and only go like hike, ruck, swim, bike, row, something low impact for 45 to 60 minutes, that would be appropriate to do on each of those days. And then if instead you want your rest day on Sunday instead of on Monday, what you would just do is you'd do the Sunday stuff on Monday. And your 3 days would be the first 3 days and then the last 2 instead of 2 then 3. And you just can follow that progression. But easy run, active recovery on Monday. Thresholds, yes, we're doing thresholds, double threshold, run threshold in the morning, machine threshold in the afternoon. Easy runs on Wednesday. Sometimes those might be aerobic. Active recovery on Thursday. Usually I write something there, but if you just want to do, like I said, 45 to 60 minutes of low impact movement, that's good too. Double thresholds on Friday, similar to Tuesday. And then we'll do some strength running on Saturday. Strength running could include fartleks. It could include a little bit higher pace stuff. It could include inclines and like uphill or weighted. If you want to use a ruck or a vest, you can do that for those types of runs. But strength running, that really helps produce power in your running. And then Sunday is the long runs and easy. So they're usually easy pace. Maybe sometimes we'll have some cut downs or some surges, but long runs are on Sunday. For this cycle, the first week we're actually going to start at about 40 miles a week in terms of running. It's going to be about 40 miles a week. By the 12th week, we'll be at 55 miles a week. So it's a great time if you haven't built up to the volume to build up to the total volume of the program. Our strength, like I said, a lot of single leg strength to correct those imbalances. Total strength, so we're working our power movement, squat, bench press, deadlift, or any type of press. So we'll do that. And then core to extremity, like I said, we're going to really work our core. You need a good foundation, and the foundation of everything you should do should work from the core and then work outward towards your arms, towards your legs, towards your toes and fingers. But it starts here. So you have to secure this, shore it up, get it ready so that everything else can follow. Like I said, we're going to balance out, deadlift and presses, and our workouts, our GPP will be a little bit heavier. You'll notice that they might have some higher skills. They might be a little bit heavier than normal. So just follow along, read the notes, read the words I put below there that say how to approach a workout. Most of the time, like I said, our GPP is not like full go 100% every time. Usually it's like, hey, zone 3, a little bit less than threshold pace, something like get the movement done. If it really is something that you're trying to go hard on, don't do it every day of the week. Power, skills, this is your applied strength. So we're going to be building power. This is where you'll see your Olympic lifts, explosive power. We're going to work on movement quality and movement efficiency. There's 3 things you need to work on whenever you do a movement. It is safety, efficacy, efficiency. Number 1 is safety. You need to make sure you're doing the movement safely so you don't get hurt. The best ability is availability. Number 2 is efficacy. Make sure you're hitting the standards of the movement, doing them properly. Number 3 is efficiency. How fast can you move through the movement, and what's the shortest point from point A to point B to complete and hit your efficacy and safety standards. We're going to work on efficiency because that's what you should be moving through to get done as fast as possible without sacrificing efficacy or safety. Those 2 are the priority. You'll see a lot of E-moms, E2 moms, E3 moms between both of these. Our GPP and our extra credits, functional intervals, so like a lot of functional fitness, you'll see greasing the groove. You'll see, so like 100 push-ups per time or 100 push-ups throughout the day for you to complete. You'll see the volume building, right? So we're going to get that extra volume, those little extra things that really help increase in incremental pieces. And we'll work our glycotic system, so those short minute and a half type of stuff before we get really aerobic or the very first explosive one. And then gross conditioning, machine volume. This is where you get the volume on the machines. Remember, it's very important. If you want to be really good at a 200, a 500, a 1,000 meter sprint, you need to do your 5K and your 10K rows, your 5K and 10K skiers. The more you get used to the machine, the better and easier that other stuff becomes. You'll see some short sprints. You'll see some 250 meters, some 500 meters, some 750, shorter sprint type intervals just to work on those speeds for the machines and for running. You'll see strides. So those strides are like 75 to 100 meters of good form running at the end of something longer so that you're reinforcing good habits in your running ability. You'll see a lot of kettlebell work. I really like the stability requirements that kettlebells require. So we'll be doing kettlebell swings, hand-to-hand kettlebell swings, kettlebell snatches, kettlebell cleans, kettlebell clean and jerks, kettlebell push press, sumo deadlift high pulls. So much you can do with a kettlebell. So make sure you have the proper weight and do what's right for you. We'll do some Turkish get-ups. So make sure that you're adjusting properly to that. And if you have any questions at all, ask me. I'll be happy to answer them. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And then there's the ruck, incline, and weighted carries. So just some extra volume that you should be doing to load your body, do those things. Most of the time, this gross conditioning, especially like the short sprints, the strides, and the ruck stuff, that's going to really tax your CNS. So I'd always recommend that goes last. Now, if you're doing threshold stuff, we put our machine thresholds in the gross conditioning. That should be the start of a second session. But all the other stuff that's going to tax your CNS, do that as the last thing of the day, or else you're not going to get to anything else afterwards because it is really taxing on your central nervous system. And our theme is Greek mythology. So you'll see things like Odysseus and Hercules and Medusa. We'll do all the Greek gods. We'll do all the Greek heroes, the tragedies, the stories, all those types of things, just to have some fun with it. But I'm really excited, guys. Hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in September when this one's done. Have a good one.